Well, welcome everybody. This is Whiskey 6 CRP, tonight's coordinator for the 2 Meter Crew Antinet. Everybody, welcome. And I'd like to thank the owners and supporters of the W6 BBR repeater and the Vaca Valley Radio Club, as always, for letting us use this repeater for the Antinet. One thing I want to make sure we do is if there's any priority traffic at any time or emergency traffic, let us know and we will clear the frequency. Is there any priority traffic at this time? And as always, 2 Meter Crew, just a bunch of us guys having fun on the air, trying to grow the hobby, um, learn as we go, teach, what we know. We're not an actual club. You don't have to do anything to be a member, just participate. Um, no dues, no fees, anything like that. So this is absolutely an open net and everybody's welcome. Feel free to join in. The 2 Meter Crew Antinet, we meet every Wednesday tonight, like 7 o'clock. W6 VVR repeater, which is 145.470 with a negative offset of 600 kilohertz and a PL tone of 127.3 hertz. There's a lot of ways that you can monitor and join us, of course, over the air. We also have an Echo link that's set up at WG5EEK. There's an all-star node 51094. A DMR talk group that's 314-9964. There's a YSF reflector 24033, and the Contra Costa repeater system, which is YSF and Wires X room 80280. You can visit ContraCostaFusion.network for more info. And then tonight we have, of course, our Northwest Ham Shack live streaming this on YouTube. So if you're watching that, there should be a banner across the bottom, which has all of these different access points available also. I'll let this drop for a sec. All righty. Okay, so anything else from the crew while we're opening up there? Any other input? I think we're going to start off with a little ham radio giveaway. It's something the 2 Meter Crew Discord site has been working on, getting people to sign up and be active there, kind of get the word out. And a couple of the folks has set up a nice little giveaway. So I'm going to turn this over to Nick and kind of maybe let him walk us through that. Nick, there you go.
Hey, thanks, Carlos. This is Nick, KN60AL. So last week, later in the week, we posted on our Discord a radio giveaway. And we thought it would be kind of fun to maybe build a little bit of emphasis and enthusiasm around Discord and get some more people interested in joining us on the 2 Meter Crew Antinet. And so with the blessing of some donations, we had a radio that we were able to give away, and we have some people that entered. And so I thought it would be fun to announce that on the Antinet tonight. And fear not, if you didn't get a chance to enter into this giveaway, we do have more to come. So keep paying attention to that and join us on Discord. We'll get a couple links posted in the YouTube comments throughout the night for folks that want to join there. But I have my assistant here with me, Molly. She is my 9-year-old daughter, and she's going to announce the giveaway tonight. So The way we did it is I've got all of the people that entered into the radio giveaway on my phone on an app, and I'm going to let her select the app, which is a random drawing, and then the winner will announce right here, and then we'll get in contact with that person either throughout the night and get their information and get that radio sent off to them, and hopefully get it to someone that could use it. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Molly, and I'm going to let you go ahead and press the button right here. All you're going to do is press that button.
All right, Molly.
You ready? Okay. All right, hold it up. And we're going to show who it is. See if anybody can see it. My phone will clear up.
A lot of glare.
And then read it.
It is Dev Ranger.
That's right. All right. So Dev Ranger, he actually asked to remain anonymous and not reveal his call sign. But I can assure you that he's an experienced ham, and he's got a person that he wants to donate the radio to. So congratulations to Dev Ranger, and we'll get your information after the anti-net, and good luck in the next drawing. So thanks a lot,
Very
you guys, and thank you, Molly. Anything you want to say?
I'm really, really happy for you, Dev Ranger. You are the lucky winner for the Baofeng radio. Congratulations.
All right. Back to you, Carlos. KN6 DAL with Molly.
Thanks, Nick. And thank you, Molly. That was well done. Definitely one of our core members of the 2 meter crew right there. And our future, our ham amateur radio future sitting there. So we talked about a topic for tonight, and as usual, we're pretty informal, but we do have Winter Field Day coming up. And we're in the middle of a pandemic shutdown, so thought it was good maybe to bring it up. Last year, we were able to meet up those that wanted. We went up Mount Diablo. It was pretty fun. We had a lot of operators and pop-up covers, and heck, we barbecued and had all kinds of snacks. It was a lot of fun. Jason, FAK, K6 FAK, went around filming a lot of it and posted it on his YouTube page, Ham Radio TV. It was just a really good time. We actually got a lot of interference from the other big systems up there, communication systems, but I think a really good time was had by all. Of course, this year it's a downer. We can't do that. But we did kind of start talking about it, and I looked up the rules for this year's Winter Field Day. They're very much the same as last year, except they did put some provisions in there due to the pandemic. So if you want to participate as a club, but you don't want to all meet or join in one place, they put in some language that will let you do that. So you can all operate at various locations, keep your logs, and when you turn them in, you put in the same shared club name that you come up with for the competition. And all the numbers and results would be combined and scored as a club. And so I'm not sure how much how much interest we had out there, or what folks were going to do for Winter Field Day. So I kind of wanted to open it up and just have this discussion. So why don't we take comments on that right now? What are you guys thinking for Winter Field Day? And I'll start it out here, maybe locally. Mike, what are you doing for Winter Field Day, or what are your thoughts? It'd be a bit of work to put it together, but also everybody can definitely participate as an individual, keep your own score, turn it in.
Yeah, so Mike here, WG5EEK. I, as a tech, mainly these field days are geared towards HF. So I'm planning on hooking up with a fellow general, licensee, and help and operating with them. I'm probably gonna grill some food again. I'm just gonna keep it nice and small. But yeah, the plan is to go up somewhere high again, not probably not Mount Diablo, but somewhere, and operate, with a couple guys, and hopefully just have a good time. Not do anything crazy, just not spend the night anywhere, just do a day trip somewhere and hang out. That's it. Just have fun. There will be some people on, you know, you know, frequencies besides HF. So I'll throw some 2 meters, 70 centimeter, maybe try some DMR again or whatever, and just see what I can, see what I can hear and see if they can hear me. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm just gonna just have some fun.
Yeah, I noticed reading through it, the modes that you can use is any mode that can faithfully transmit the exchange
Mm-hmm.
intact without a conversion table. So CW, single sideband, AM, FM, D-Star, C4, FM, DMR, packet, PSK, SSTV. There's just a ton. The only ones I really see them listing here that do not meet the criteria, FT8, FT4, don't meet their criteria for that exchange. So there's a ton of modes that you can use, and I think that's a really good idea. If you have a small hub of friends, you've been staying isolated, or people are comfortable going out with, yeah, maybe you do a smaller winter field day right there. And man, I know I'm missing it. I had a lot of fun doing that last year, and especially just seeing all the faces too. And again, you can do it individually. It also one thing that was my first winter field day last year. That kind of caught me. I was thinking, okay, we're up at 6 o'clock in the morning and we're on the air and grinding. And so it actually starts 1900 UTC, which is 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's 11 o'clock here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you can begin setting up before then. There's some limits on your setup time also, but you start transmitting at 11, and then it goes all night long into the next day at 11. And so those that don't want to grind it out all night, but you can start at 11 and work till you're tired. You can get up in the morning and crank it out again until 11. Whatever you enjoy. It was just a lot of fun. I remember last year, and the station I was at was 2 meter, and like you were saying, Mike, and we were getting blasted. It was just hard to overcome the interference from the communication stations we had, but we had a ton of contacts. There were, I don't know, 8 or 10 people that sat down at that station and operated for an hour or so. But it was good. I want to open it up again. Anybody out there on the air that wants to chime in? All right. Anybody else here in the coordinators want to pop in? What's your thoughts?
Hey there. It's K6BIV. Keep in mind that if there is a control station at a field day site that has the appropriate license to operate, let's say on HF, that they can assume control op, duties, and people that are even non-licensed can operate field day at that event with the control op present. So I know it has been helpful actually getting people into the hobby. Where they've attended field days, typically more in the summer one, and IMDARC's done it, for instance, at Header Farms, and they've had some tremendous outpour from the community and people sitting down at the station who were never licensed, never on a radio before, and that actually got the bug bit, and they become hams and have gone on. So just keep that in mind. Back to net.
And Whiskey 6 CRP on the 2 meter crew anti-net, and we are on the Vaca Valley repeater. And that's a good point, that if you are together with a few folks, your highest licensing, as long as he's in control and watching, making sure everything is appropriate that's going on. All the operators there that where he's under control, you can operate up to that person's his or her level, and great outreach, like you said, for folks that haven't done it. And it's also fun for the technicians to be able to work some HS and get out there. Last year when we were up on Mount Diablo, there were a lot of families coming through that were hiking, and they would peel off to one of our table setups, one of our stations, and kind of, hey, what are you guys doing? And we give them a little tour, talk, tell them what we're doing. I think a Boy Scout troop came through at one point and kind of watched what we were doing. That was a bit of the fun stuff too, was just folks very interested in what all these antennas and electronics and generators and all this other equipment, what was going on there. So that was kind of fun. So one of the changes here, let's see, club, they're telling you how to fill out your log. And so they say club or group name only. And then they say, go down and read the COVID secure notes for updates. And I slide on down there, and it's changes apply only to groups who, due to the pandemic, won't or can't be congregating to compete this year. If your group wishes, you may have a group or club score tallied by having individual members fill in the club line in their Creo log file. Individual members would send in their log under their own call sign, operating under your privileges. You don't get that just because someone's going to report in your club, you can't operate up to their license. They have to physically be where you're at if you're taking that advantage. But you would submit it with the name or call sign also of the group noted in the club line. So then all those scores would be tallied together for the club. And I know there's some competitive people out there that love that, and that's cool. My biggest fun, truthfully, was just meeting everybody and being there. But we can still participate and have some fun. Especially here, we could probably hub off a local repeater to see what different people are doing, just to see how your day's going, and definitely work your equipment and log what you can. It's a fun challenge just to try that. Definitely, that was one of the first times I set up big also out in the field. And so that took a little thought. And what antenna was I going to put up? I was running off battery power, but I did have a little generator. I didn't know how fast I would eat through that battery. Keeping the sun and the wind off of you for a long-term, operating. So it was fun. That was a good challenge. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet this year. I haven't really totally made up my mind. But you can go to Winter Field Day 2021. Go ahead and just pop that in. It'll take you to the site. And there's a couple of tabs on the top, and there's a tab that shows the rules, and you can scroll on through there. It tells you what calls you would put out for what class you're operating in and how many you are. And pretty good instructions there. Did anybody have any questions about that field day? See if we can look it up here or answer anybody's questions. Again, Whiskey 6 CRP, the 2-meter crew anti-net. And I'm going to throw it out there to one of our other coordinators, get some thoughts on what you're doing and anything else we can bring to the table on the Winter Field Day. Nick, anything from up your way? What are you going to do up there?
Yeah, this is Nick, KN60AL. So I got to work on Saturday. So I'm not going to be able to participate too much. And I've just been a little bit bogged down with work. It was funny. There was a mention in the coordinator group about maybe we should have a net topic of work life and work hobby balance, and that's always a good topic, always a never-ending struggle. But I did have a question, and I think this question might be aimed towards Mike. So we've got quite the connectivity going on tonight. If I'm going to pop up on YouTube, I apologize for the guys on Zoom here. They won't be able to see it, but right now this is what our spider web of connectivity looks like. And I was hoping maybe, Mike, if you could just kind of go over this, because there's quite a bit more than just some repeaters hooked up here. This looks like a pretty far and wide spanned bubble chart here. So do you mind maybe going over that a little bit and telling everybody what's going on? KN6DAL.
Yeah. Do you mind if I can share my screen? And
Yeah.
I can kind of go over a little bit. Okay. So
You probably want the access to that, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I didn't ask, but yeah. Let me know when you got that. This still says it's
Go
disabled.
ahead. You're good now.
Let me try again. All right, cool. So this is WG5EEK getting set up here. So I'm gonna share this screen. Should be just this one. Okay, so as you can see on that huge bubble chart that was behind Nick, we are connected to a whole bunch of all-star nodes. And the main hub is called Freestar. So if you guys remember or were around during the New Year's Eve net that we had, it was, let me see if I can get I can't remember the name of it. I'll look on my email. GB1NYE, Great Britain won New Year's Eve. So Bruce Linton from that whole event reached out to me via email the other day, and he said, hey, we have this huge hub of a lot of people connected. We want to know if you guys want to connect to us during our nets, and if you have any nets, we can have an automatic connection to you guys, schedule it and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, we have an anti-net every Wednesday. So as you can see, we've been put on the schedule right here. This is in UTC time, so convert it for your local time, of course. But yeah, they're going to connect to us for about 3 hours at a time for us here in Vacaville to the local repeater on the anti-net. So if you're RF'd into VVR or all the digital modes that you see scrolling across the bottom of your screen, or if you just want to connect to them directly at any time and talk with them, they have all these different ways to connect as well. So as you can see on the screen, they have Echolink, All-Star, DMR, D-Star, and YSF. So if you want to talk, if you get friendly with one of those ham operators and you want to try to talk to them more often and they're not connected to the VVR, you can connect to them. So I just thought that was really cool that they reached out to us. And of course, we love having people connect to us during nets at any time, really. We're just more people to talk to us and share experiences and yeah, just rag to you every once in a while too. It's pretty fun. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, Bruce Linton, and his call sign is 2E0FWV. Or anything like that, just say hi. That's it. So that was pretty much it in a nutshell. So expect that hopefully to continue for the remainder of the time that we're doing the net. Back to you, Nick, or if it's back to net control, whoever wants to pick it up. This is WG5EEK.
I have a question, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, can you let Chris know that this is going to happen so that he can do a write-up about it, and we can add it to the net schedule on the Contra Costa Fusion Room website so people know about it? Because today it kind of came from nowhere. Nobody knew where it came from, and the people were going, "What's going on? Yeah. Where did this come from?"
And part of that was my fault because I gave them another node that's normally not connected to anything just to test it out, and I forgot to disconnect from the YSF reflector on your end. So that's on me. As soon as I found out, I disconnected just so I wasn't taking over your guys' repeater and you wouldn't know about it. That was totally my fault. So
no, really, there's no problem. Again, I think it'd probably be, why not connect to it? Why not participate? Just have us know, just have it announced so people don't get shocked, because people are going, wow, it's an invasion. It's an invasion.
Sometimes that happens when you get all these modes connected. Everybody wants to connect and have fun, which I love.
Yeah, so they can, Chris can put it up in the net schedule there, and
Perfect. Yeah, I'll definitely let him know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. This
Definitely.
is Nick,
Definitely.
KN60AO, real quick. I just wanted to let everybody know on YouTube, this is the link that they were talking about, the Contra Costa Fusion.network. If you go to that website, there's a lot of information about another portion of the digital modes that we have connected that Carlos had brought up at the beginning of the Antinet. And if you have any questions about how to get in contact with everybody associated with that, all that information is on here. So go check that website out when you get a chance.
And let's mention that logo, huh? I mean,
Yeah.
my God,
Look at that.
what a logo! Phew. Wow.
Very nice.
I'm waiting to buy a patch.
I know. We have the artwork. So
All right, back to you, Carlos.
Whiskey 6 CRP, 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. Tim, how about yourself on Winterfield Day? What are you thinking about doing, or what are your thoughts this year? How are you going to work it with the pandemic, or do you normally participate?
now I participated in one field day in my life. That was, I think, in 80 or 81. It was actually on the top of Mount Diablo, and the guys that put that together, I mean, they absolutely did a wonderful job. I mean, there were crank-up towers, and the media was there, and we had the press pool and everything. In fact, we won. And then the people that were responsible for submitting the logs screwed up. They didn't submit the logs, and I haven't participated in a field day since. So. It's like, my God, because the people that are not contesters have come to the realization, or they have the opinion, that field day is not a contest. Now, to a contester, field day is a contest. In fact, it's only a contest. And it's a contest that is set up kind of in an emergency fashion with, quick setup procedures, and the whole point is the person who wins, who has the greatest score. Well, that to me is a contest, but we're in a non-contest mode. Everybody gets a trophy, So I think our society has just gone to hell. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, back to Net.
I do understand that, and we had a good split last year. I mean, we got our stations up, and there was somebody on the station working, but there was enough people where you could walk around and shoot the breeze, rag shoot face to face, right? And then you'd come in and sit down at a station and grind it out for an hour. And again, Jason K6 FAK collected everybody's documents afterward. And got them all into the Cabrillo format and got them submitted. And we only, like I said, worked that one day, really from 11 to however late we stayed. The park closed at sunset. So we had to be off the hill. We had to be breaking down before then, packed up and through the gate at that time. So I thought we did pretty dang good for the limited time that we operated. And I learned a ton. I really did. Sad we're not doing that. That's kind of what the 2 Meter Crew was. It still is, just we're in the middle of the pandemic. But we used to do breakfast, random weekend. Somebody would throw together, hey, let's all meet here. And those that wanted to would show up and we get some breakfast and, again, meet each other and shake hands, see what everybody's doing. A lot of fun. And we'd pick a day to go. Somebody's going to Mount Diablo. We went up to Briones to a hilltop. We've had our hikers taking trips up into the foothills and letting us know when they were going to be at a high point. Just all that stuff's what's fun to me and kind of what drove. And we'll get back there. We'll grind it out. But that's what I wanted to do, is to see today. Hopefully people are still participating in Winterfield Day. Those that want to run by yourself. Operate from home. Just give it a try, grind it out, learn some stuff, have fun. If you want to get a cluster of folks together and get a club call together, do that. And even if you're not all in the same place, you can all, set up logistics, who's going to cover which bands, which frequencies, hit it up, and then submit all of your stuff together. there's a couple things I was going to go over real quick. Everybody's at different stages in field days. Like last year, I'd never done one, didn't know what to expect. So there's a couple categories. I'm just going to overview them again on the rules page. If you go to that winter field day 2021 and rules, it'll give you explicit. But you can be in 3 categories: indoor, outdoor, or home. And it kind of lists indoors, you're inside a remote, insulated, heated, weather protected structure where an amateur station is not normally available. So you're setting up an amateur station for this. And they go on, it could be a park building, cabin, community center, so forth. Outdoor, operating from a location partly or fully exposed to the elements, at least 30 feet away from your normal station. So if you're going to set it up in your backyard, you can do it. You just need to go away. You have to not use any part of previously erected station. You can't use your normal antenna, power. You got to go out, set yourself up, and operate. So you can go have a field day in your backyard, drag a battery out there, your generator, a quick up dipole or whatever antenna you're using, long wire. Test your equipment, test your skills, and getting it set up and operating. And then those that just, with everything going on, don't want to grind that out, you can do from home, inside your home, at your regular station. Each of these have connotation if you're competing, because they all have different factors for points. And of course, outdoor on your own with no commercial power, you get a higher factor, so your points all get multiplied. If you're really competing, you see how good you can do that. That helps. And then, so you pick your entry category, indoor, outdoor, home. It's I, O, or H. Your entry class is the number of stations in your entry that are capable of simultaneous transmission. So if 3 of you got together and you're each running different bands, you would be, and you're outdoors and off power, you would be an O3. If you're at home, and I'm just going to do it from my ham shack, I'm an H1, just me. I can only do one. I might do different bands and compete and grab logs on them all, but I can only do one at a time. And so your exchange then, it says your winter field day exchange will be a combination of your class, category, your ARRL section. I think we were Northern California. What were we? Gosh, I didn't look that up to tell you guys. So you can look it up. There's a chart here that shows whether you're, I think we were Northern Cal, Southern Cal, or North Bay or something. So then you would be, home 1, I want to say it was North Bay, NB.
It was EB, East Bay.
East Bay, there it is, EB. So you'd be, H1 EB with your call sign. And that's what your contact looks like. You're calling out there, you get a hold of somebody, they're going to have their numbers, which you're going to need to capture and get down in your log. So that gives, examples of call signs here. I'm kind of reading through. But they have very clear directions if you want to participate. And I recommend it. It's kind of fun. And whether you get together with a couple friends and do it, or you do it remotely and combine your scores, or you just do it by yourself or some experience, I do recommend it. W6 CRP 2-meter crew anti-net on the VBR repeater. Anybody else? Let's see, Justin, we haven't heard from you yet.
Yeah, so KM6ZTH. My favorite part of any field day is, as kind of Carlos was alluding, it's the camaraderie, right? It's the hanging out with folks. I think I kind of agree with Tim. The contest thing, you're either a contester or you're not. So the idea of really gathering the logs and submitting them, I'm like, I worked this last field day with a guy down at the Benicia State Capitol, and we did pretty good in our area for the category we chose. And he was smart. He chose like this really niche thing and made sure there were some things around it. But really, for me, it's hanging out with the guys, right? Or the fact that when you get on the air, there actually is somebody out there, right? You're gonna get a comeback, right? And I would even say, man, sadly, Carlos, it wasn't even last year that we did Mount D. That was 2 years ago. I was thinking about, I'm like, wait a second. 2019 is when we did that. But yeah, that 2 meter station, man, was on fire the entire time. So don't think just because, I'm a tech, I can't get on HF. No, get out there, get on your radio. You will be surprised who is out there, especially right when it hits, right? 11 a.m., you are going to have a half-hour window, maybe an hour window, where it is just jammed. And it's so much fun. On that same note, there is also this weekend the ARRL VHF contest, which is another perfect example of how it is and stuff. And that's the best part, is you get to hear, wait, is there a person? And you'd be surprised where you get stuff from, right? I live in a kind of a bizarre spot in Benicia where I don't have great line of sight west or even north, kind of. But the folks that are east of me, up in the Sierras, it blows my mind who I've made contacts with, right? Like, so you can get some distance, and you'd be surprised who you get contacts from in different places. So, it's one of those, just get out there and get on the air. You'd be surprised. Don't worry about logging it. Just get out there and have fun. So that's how I like to play it, and I will probably just sit here at home. And, we're in California, so winter is really, it's like 70 degrees lately, so I don't know about how cold it's really going to be, but, it's nice to sit here and enjoy it.
Yeah. It's, so I think it'll be good. I do recommend folks try that. A couple of the things we were talking about, multipliers. You get multipliers for power that you use. 100 watts, it's just a one times, so it's no value. Less than 100 watts, it's 2 times your point values. QRP is 4 times the point value. 1,500 points if you did not use any commercial power plug in to anything. 1,500 bonus points if you're outdoors. And you're not a home operation, another 1,500 for remote. If you make a QSO via satellite, you can only do one, but that's another 1,500 bonus points. So, you can kind of get into this and go, all right, I'm going to jump over to battery only, set up in my backyard. And if you have any experience, if you can jump on a satellite, there's another 1,500. I mean, you can, bang, bang, hit some big points. And then, like Justin was saying, even 2 meter, it just blew up. You had to really work pile-ups because everybody, if you were at a decent location, they could hear you. Everybody wanted to contact. So a lot of fun. Something you guys to think about. Again, I want to open up for any last-minute comments. I think that's all I had for the topic tonight. Unless anybody else has anything or comments from the air, I'll sit back here for a minute and see if anybody wants to chime in.
Victor Alpha 7, Sierra Lee.
Go ahead, Victor Alpha 7. I didn't catch the last bit, but come again and go ahead and give us what you got.
Sierra Luxembourg, Sugar Love, Scott, Maple Ridge, British Columbia. I like field day too. Operating, I'm a contester. I don't get to do enough of it these days, and field day usually the one I go down for a couple hours, and I'll go at it hard and show the guys how it's done. So I like that. And here, but I have a feeling there isn't going to be, at least out here anyway. I'm sorry, I don't know your guys' calls. Scott, Columbia, Victor Alpha 7 Sierra Lima.
All right, Scott. Yeah, thank you for calling in. And yeah, this is Whiskey 6 CRP. And yeah, you can just probably yell, "Hey, knucklehead," and one of us will answer here. But no, that's cool. Yeah, and I don't know what this year will look like. That's why I was kind of throwing it out there. But like you said, you don't have to go all night, but you can sit down there for a while and give them hell. I mean, just get on there and log all you can. Even if you don't want to keep and submit a log, you can get on there and give other people a lot of contacts and work your skills and enjoy it. And it's not a bad idea, though, to keep your hand at trying to keep a contest log. It's a little bit different. You've got to definitely keep, your information that you need to have and make sure you're getting that and giving that out. So it's kind of fun. Anybody else? Don't make us think we're doing this in the Zoom. Let us know you're out there on the radios too.
That was a question. Go ahead, question.
I just want to know about the exchange for the contest. So this is Kilo Mike 6. I'm up here in the Sierra Nevadas, and I listened to what you said, and I'm wondering, would my exchange be, because I'm in Sacramento Valley, it would be 1 Alpha Hotel Sierra Victor, is that correct?
You would be, let's go back up. And so you would be operating from home. So you'd be a home. If you're one person, one simultaneous station, you'd be a one, H1. And what was your designator? Sacramento Valley, SB? I think that was it. So you'd be an H1 SV. Would be your exchange. So it's pretty simple.
Sorry. Yeah, the whole Alpha Hotel thing. 1 Alpha Hotel Sierra Victor. I was joking. Yeah, good times. I'm just checking into the net, KM6YKX.
I did not recognize your voice, Robbie, the Auburn assassin, or else I would have known you were giving me a hard time. Yes, indeed. And that's a perfect example of somebody that's working up in the foothills that can reach quite a ways. You'll be surprised, the folks you get a hold of on Simplex on a field day, because everybody's out there and up, and Robbie's got some really good elevation and can reach out there and catch you. So thanks, KM6YKX. Anybody else out there comments on Winter Field Day? All right, Whiskey 6 CRP 2-meter crew Antoinette, and I'm going to go back to Nick and have you thrown up the Zoom link there, or how are you going to work that? We're going to roll over into Zoom now, or at 7:45? It's about time.
Yeah, this is Nick, KN60AL. Just posted the Zoom link in the chat, and I think, we could probably wrap it up. I do want to take just a minute and see. We've got quite a few different connections going on tonight. Is there anybody out there that's new to ham radio, or anybody who just recently got their license, or just maybe recently upgraded, or this is just their first time ever making contact with the Antinet? We'd love to hear from you, and maybe just come in and say your call sign and where you're from, and introduce yourself. And again, that's for any stations that are newer to the hobby. Anybody who just got their license, this could be your first time on the radio. Who cares? Just jump in and say hi. KN6DAL. All right. We just always like to leave a little bit of a break there for anybody who's newer. Every once in a while, we get someone jumping on. And honestly, that is kind of what we all cater to. You know, we were all new once. It can be a really confusing hobby sometimes. It can be a frustrating hobby sometimes. The important thing is that when you have a chance, just get on the air and talk. You're going to find you're going to meet a lot of interesting people, and everybody just wants to communicate and have fun. So here at the 2 Meter Crew, you're welcome anytime. You can jump in, say hi. It doesn't have to be anything related to a topic that we have. It can just be you want to jump on and say hello. So keep that in mind moving forward. I did post the Zoom link, and it looks like we have a couple people starting to climb on in here. So I'll pass it back to you, Carlos, and anybody who has any last words, and we can jump it on over. This is KN6DAL. Back to Carlos.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. And any other comments from our coordinators before I shut down the anti-net on the repeater?
Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead.
All right, so there's one last thing about Winter Field Day. It says no FT8, right? And there's probably a lot of people out there going, oh man, no FT8. But if you read the little note at the end, they give you a little hint there. JS8 call, completely legal to use. And that's the point, is you can have an entire QSO using a very similar protocol to FT8. So if you're wanting to play give JS8 a call. KM6ZTH.
Okay, the only thing I wanted to add real quick, this is Mike, WG5EK again. Just thanks for everybody who participated. Thanks for all the connections and everybody listening in. If you're interested in ham radio and you don't have your license, there's a lot of opportunities out there to get your license. So if you want to participate, I really want to say something to these guys. Come into YouTube, we can share your thoughts and comments there. But most important, get your license, because we want to talk to you too, over the radio. So that's all I got.
Absolutely. I'll second that, Mike. Anybody out there that doesn't have a license, you don't need a license to get on YouTube. You don't need a license to jump into our Zoom chat, and everybody is welcome. We want to be as inclusive as we can for the ham radio community. So very awesome comment. Thanks, Mike.
And join us on the Discord as well. You might find some more information about how to get that. So that's absolutely right.
Yeah, why don't you throw out our Discord address there one more time, Nick?
Yeah, I posted that in the link. I'll post it one more time just so that everybody has a chance to see it.
Okay. And Mike, I just realized your background, that is from Winter Field Day, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I don't know if this is one of the pics that I took, but it was one that Jason has, K6FAK on one of his, Smug Mug accounts, and I thought it might be one I took, but regardless, it looks like an awesome picture. We were talking about it, last Zoom meeting, last net. I was like, I threw it up there. So yeah, that's exactly right. That's from Mount Diablo from the last Winter Field Day. We all got together and had fun. So it was a beautiful day up there, absolutely gorgeous, and hopefully this time will be just as gorgeous no matter where everyone's at. So yeah, that's exactly right.
I just barely made the 3-minute timer there. I don't even know what we got, but I was really close. All right, back to you, Carlos. Oh.
CRP, let me see if I have this.
Yeah. Oh, he's frozen. I've been staring at him the whole time.
All righty, back the old-fashioned way. My Zoom link froze up, so that's why we always go back to the old school on air. So thanks for joining us on the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. Hopefully we got out a little bit of info and good discussion for you. If you have ideas of stuff you'd like us to cover, definitely you can drop it on. You can go onto the Facebook 2 Meter Crew, 2MC, and drop lines there, or give us an email. Let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll work on it. But thanks, everybody. And again, thanks to the Vaca Valley Radio Club for letting us use the VVR repeater. We do appreciate it. So I'm going to go ahead and close the anti-net. This is Whiskey 6 CRP clearing for the 2 Meter Crew anti-net repeater. are back to normal operation.
And then we just wait for a minute for the 3 people that come on right after that every time. No, I think we're good. We'll quiet it down. All right. I'm going to see if I can manage to ditch the headphones. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I need to get some different headphones. I got these super cheap headphones. And they just squish up against my ears the whole time. I need to get something that wraps around my ears. My daughter literally has better headphones than I do. It's all right.
Yeah, my daughter got a nice set of earbuds, not the official ones, but like knockoffs for Christmas. So.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes, man. Hey, this topic was right. The timing was perfect, man. I was just sitting here at field day, and I was reading all these, listening to the rules, and then I'm thinking, I feel like every day is a field day. I have no shack. I work from the back of my truck. I've got like wires everywhere. I've got a battery here. I'm like, this is a good excuse to just disappear into the mountains or something. So I'm looking forward to, Justin, you said it, right? First thing that came to mind is, well, who's barbecuing? Oh, where's the food? Who are we going to get together? So the topic was very well played on the timing aspect of it. So.
Yeah. Hey, do you have any HF mobile capability or hikeable capability, Aaron?
Oh yeah.
Because I know you like to hike quite a bit, and I do too. And so we have a season here, unlike California, where the season is all year long. It gets pretty treacherous during the wintertime up in the high elevation. So later this summer, we'll definitely have to hook up. And I don't think we could successfully ever do 2-meter simplex contact unless 10,000 stars aligned in our favor. It's been done before, but it'd be an interesting setup to make that work. But we could for sure both get on real high elevation points and maybe just get a 2-meter crew sponsored kind of HF contact day where everybody goes up and hikes or something.
Yeah, it was funny, and I don't know if it was you, Justin, or it was Carlos. I think it was you, Justin. It was the last one I looked on YouTube right before the meeting. I saw a video. K6FAK did a video of of a field day, because I was like, okay, this is a great topic. I'm a new guy. I've never been to a field day. Like, what is this? And it was really cool, right? It was setting up and all of the things that was that happened. It was fun to see, and the camaraderie and the food and the people and the energy. So I'm looking forward to it.
And the food.
Yeah.
The crazy part is that winter field day is actually nothing compared to field day. Like, for as much as we want to talk about this being a field day, I mean, field day is, let's call it worldwide, because everybody in the world knows that the U.S. is going to be on, so it is huge. Winter field day, for those colder states, doesn't quite have the same turnout. And I don't blame anyone there either. I wouldn't want to go sit in the snow and transmit, but...
I might just do that. I mean, that sounds fun to me.
More power to you, man. And you only need to do it for like an hour. Like, you don't need to be out there for 4.
Oh, but yeah. So for me, like, I've got everything I have is portable. Like, I'm like a vagabond, but like portable heaters, and I sleep in the back of my truck, and that's fun for me. So yeah.
And by the way, if Ben is listening, KN6LLB, I see your post that you're 3 miles under the north side of Mount Diablo, so there is a fusion repeater on North Peak as of about 2 weeks ago that should be just slam dunk for you. So it ties in automatically to this net every week. So. And you're welcome to use it. It's an open machine.
I am back, as you saw. Internet dropped totally out. I did switch over to radio though and close the net on the air.
You totally pulled a mic there.
You did, and it was done seamlessly. I mean, it was as if there were producers in the background that were doing all this, and you just let it roll.
Nick just put up this great image of you and had this little puppet thing going. It was fantastic.
A sock bucket.
Hey, Greg. Hey, did you
That's
know
right,
that
Greg
you
did it.
actually can get into the Zoom meeting right at 7:00? You don't have to wait for me to post it on YouTube.
What's that? Oh, sorry, dude. I was in the office at work until about 6:15, and it's an hour away. So
No, it's all
just
good. No worries, man. I'm just
Hey,
messing
Greg,
with you.
how's it going? Bert, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
good. How are you guys? I tried listening to it. I was listening to VVR on my way home. It didn't really get clear in Fairfield at all until about Vacaville. It was hard to understand a little bit.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to understand, so that's why I had to go through Zoom because everything's very garbled.
Yeah.
So I went through Zoom and had Nick key me in. That seemed to work.
So, who was net control? Was that you tonight, Carlos? Oh, it was. I heard you. Yeah, I heard you at the beginning. I think I was like down Vallejo way, and I could hear the beginning of the meeting. Talking about the different, about the 2-meter crew, and the different ways to get in. But after that, as I got closer, it just got really choppy. It was really hard to understand anything until I got to Vacaville. Like all through Fairfield, it was really garbled.
Molly gave away the radio.
Yeah.
My daughter got on YouTube and gave away our first radio giveaway.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Who got it?
Yeah, who won?
His name on Discord's Dev Ranger, but he asked not to have his call sign aired. So.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because I reached out to everybody who didn't have a call sign linked, and I just asked them if they could drop their call for me. And he happened to be one of the people, and he asked to remain anonymous. So I can totally respect that. There's a lot of people that don't want to share that information. It is pretty open public record, but
It's like winning the lottery, man. What are you going to do with all that Baofeng, man?
yeah, no. And in fact, it's actually really kind of cool because a little backstory I will share is he found out that's why I wanted his call sign, and he had made a mention that he liked the giveaway just to build the excitement and enthusiasm behind it. But he actually didn't want the radio. He was just more interested in seeing, in playing a role in sharing the link and that kind of thing. And so he asked if I would just pull him out of the giveaway. And then he said, hey, why don't you just go ahead and put me back in there? Because I know a couple people that could really use some stuff in the hobby that can't get to it. So I'm very confident that first giveaway is going to go to someone who really needs it and who could really benefit from having something to get started. So that is like the true to the point essence of what the 2-meter crew is all about, man. I mean, just keeping people on the program, just keeping people going. And so I think that's super cool and admirable. And there will be more giveaways. There will be all kinds of different stuff to talk about. And we built some definite drive behind our Discord group and got people more associated with it. And for those of you that are still watching on YouTube, if you haven't checked out Discord, there's a lot of stuff there. I mean, we've got links and direct conversation related to the Contra Costa Fusion group. We've got channels related just to the W6 VVR repeater system. And then we've got just general topic channels where people just share a wealth of information, and it just seems to be growing and growing every day. So I think that's super cool. I like seeing opportunities for people to reach out and learn things and have questions. And I have questions that I put on there all the time. We all are just learning from each other, and so it's super cool to see the enthusiasm. So thanks to everybody on that.
Hey, so I've got a couple radios to give away too. They're not brand spanking new ones, but they were handed to me as as I've been getting into it, and I think that they should go to folks who could use them better than myself.
Yeah.
They're like sitting. I've got a couple Woshens. Got like 2 Woshen HTs. I think would be cool to have somebody who needs it.
Once we're off YouTube. Just kind of get it all squared away, maybe.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Hey, Greg.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. We saw 50 of your all-star nodes today. Mike put up all the little circle, the Venn diagrams or whatever. I think half of the screen were your all-star nodes.
I've got 3 of them though so far set up. Only one of them I really use, but I can't help myself. I just keep building stuff, dude. I get bored and I gotta build something.
Man.
Every time I see that diagram, I'm like, that's just unbelievable how the connectivity works. And it was a surprise today, Tim. I was sitting there monitoring Contra Costa Fusion, and then all of a sudden there was this net happening. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? It was kind of funny, but just interesting how it's all connected like that.
Oh, Greg, if you would deploy those units along your commute route of 80, where it's
I know, right?
you'd have connectivity all the way home. I mean,
Yeah,
Actually, you know what? Today was
with those whooshons, right? Like just everywhere.
today was the first day I had to go into the office in a couple months. As a matter of fact, the last time I went in was the last time I shaved. So gives you kind of an idea of like. And I went in there, and it was a ghost town too. Yeah, I could have gotten out had there been more folks around, but whatever. They pay me to stay home most of the time. I just had to go and get it done.
You can't complain about that. Exactly.
no, sure can't.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So, Greg, you hooked up you got a YSF reflector going on your node, right?
I do. Yeah, I finally got it going. Actually, I'd like to try to like get as much of it as I possibly can done, because Mike's always, he's so helpful, man. And he goes, "Hey, you got any problems?" I'm like, you know what? I probably do, but let me try to figure this out. I want to get it to like 95% before I let you see it, so that that I'm really learning. Because if not, I'm just not going to learn it. And there was a couple, like, I started having problems with my firewall. I replaced my modem and had to re-IP my whole house. And then in the end, it wasn't starting. I thought I had auto started the thing. So like every time I reboot it, like a system CTL, like something to start it, and it never took. So I'm sitting here wondering why this thing's not working, and I needed to start the thing up. Once I did that, and I've scripted that, I've scripted out my log files now, so it's running pretty good. And then I noticed yesterday that the little fan that's sitting on top of it, it's starting to wobble and make a lot of noise. So I'm going to have to replace that. But now I don't know what to do with it.
So do you have the YSF reflector hooked up to an ASL node, or are you doing it through a ham VoIP?
No, I haven't hooked it up to anything right now. I used this machine, this Rock 64 that I bought a long time ago. That's really not very well supported, so made it a little harder to figure it out. And I understand that I'm not going to try to throw ham VoIP on that. It's just kind of a proprietary OS. I think I'll go for a real all-star node, or maybe some semblance of DV switch on it or something like that. Yeah. I just bought kn6kia.com a couple days ago, so I was thinking I should just put a web server together, point everything to that, and then get like some certificates so it's kind of safe. Because right now everything's just kind of ported out at different, like I've got one thing on port 85, another on 84, another on 82. If you start looking at it, you could kind of tell how I'm getting it all through my firewall. But it's not the best way to do this sort of stuff. This was me just kind of throwing it up and hoping that I could access it all.
Right on. What's the password for that?
Oh, dude, it's called it's COWGIL. It's all my passwords, right?
We got a number in it.
Yeah, our YSF server crashed today during that net. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, so I talked to Robert, the guy that put that together for us out of Arkansas, and he looked at the logs and stuff and saw that there were calls from the web server that they were starving for RAM, so he allocated more RAM to the web server part.
I understand, like, if your logs get too big, that could affect you as well, because a lot of that stuff is stored in like ZRAM and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I went and did a little research the other night on something called Log Rotate. that really just every day or something, it'll look, depending on how much you want, it'll keep looking at your logs, moving over and compressing old logs and creating new ones to keep, and then they'll just drop off the end if you if they're like, I don't know, 2 weeks out or however you want to set it up. So I've been kind of watching mine, and I'm seeing that that's working for me. But I think it's running pretty good. I tried to thin it down a little bit, like make sure that the desktop, like Armbian Focal is what I used, and it comes with a desktop. So I made sure that thing doesn't start up any longer. Just trying to slim it down to the nitty gritty of this thing. And then I'm going to try to do some cross moding of some sort with it. You know, I don't understand that they hook up very well to other YSF repeaters or something like that. I think I'd have to go like YSF to DMR or something of the sort. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around the whole thing.
Well, hey, before we get too far down the rabbit hole, everybody stay on Zoom here. I'm gonna say 7.3 to YouTube, and we'll shut down the YouTube stream, and then we can sit here and chat it up as long as everybody wants to. So thank you, everybody, again for another successful Anti-Net. Hopefully we'll get VVR squared away in the near future. It just takes a little bit of collaboration. It's on a really high hill. But until then, we will see everyone next week. 7.3.
7 threes.